the #1 Costa Rica real estate and investment podcast, bringing you experts from all over Costa Rica.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to episode 106 of Costa Rica Real Estate and Investments with me, your host, Richard Bexon. Today, we're going to be talking with Christian Arce. Christian has actually been on the podcast before many episodes ago, but I thought it would be good to get him on here because he's the owner of New Age Construction. So he works mainly in the central and southern Pacific areas of Costa Rica. He's built some of the best looking and most luxurious homes along the Pacific coast. So today we're going to be talking to him about construction and also what to look for when choosing land, subdividing land, and also water sources as well. So we're going to be a bit all over the place on this one. But Christian has a wealth of knowledge, and it's going to be great to chat with him and ask him some questions. Remember, if anybody needs any help with any projects here in Costa Rica, quite a few of you are actually reaching out, so I appreciate that. We're actually helping quite a few of you now. Everything from finding land to doing due diligence to project managing actually builds as well. So we have about 9 home builds going on in Costa Rica. We don't build them, but we oversee everything and kind of represent you, make sure that you guys get what it is that you asked for. But remember, if you have any questions, you can email us info@investingcostarica.com. That's info@investingcostarica.com. The contact details are also in the description. But enough from me. Let's get straight into it. Good afternoon, Christian. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Richard. How are you? Doing fantastic here.
Very good. I really appreciate you taking time because I know how many homes that you have on the go. Actually, how many houses are you building at this particular moment in time, do you think?
And this moment, I'm building 6.
Wow.
And also, 6 on ground. We are doing the planification. We have 12 different projects, including hotels and residentials, property development, on and on.
Wow.
Our team in this moment is full hand.
Well, good for you, man. I mean, it shows that you're doing a good job because if you weren't, you wouldn't have that many projects. So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, that is what we trying to find all the necessities that our clients have and fulfill it with the best way, on time, on budget. This is our goal in this company.
Definitely. Well, Christian, I mean, we spoke to you kind of, I think, just after the pandemic. I think the pandemic, really changed Costa Rica. How it was seen globally and also, as a place to invest. I mean, in your world of construction, are there any trends that you're seeing in what people are looking to build or what they're looking to from their homes that is different now than it was pre-pandemic?
Definitely, Richard. What we are realizing it is a lot of people really consider now life a little more than what it was before. This pandemic opened a lot of aspects in people's life that they don't realize. Life is so short and so fragile that anytime it can go. So a lot of people that they have in their minds, a goal or a dream, like building a Costa Rican vacation home, now they are more into it and they're now realizing that, that anything can happen and that dream can go. So a lot of people, what we're seeing is a lot of people online here in Costa Rica for years, and now they are completely on the right, in the right way to build it. They don't want to wait no longer. So they don't even are waiting until they get retired to fulfill this dream. So yeah, that is one thing. Another thing it is that we're seeing a lot of new investment. And it is also not for retirement people. It's for younger couples. Young couples, they're building, they're moving their businesses here because probably they're nomads or they're working online. So that is something that is new for us, this kind of the businesses. So yeah, definitely it is one before and one after pandemic situation in Costa Rica. But so far, thanks God, we're super busy. People are still motivated to build even with this crazy market, worldwide that is happening. But we see the people is still really interesting to build and fulfill their dreams and also investments.
That's awesome. I mean, when it comes to the design of homes or what people are including, I mean, are you seeing, I often hear that more contemporary homes are being built at the moment, more modern contemporary rather than the older colonial stuff, and people are, including offices, gyms now. I mean, are you seeing any of that in your builds?
Totally. And something else that you don't mention, Richard, it is the people is a little more ecological. They're not, nowadays they trying to build with materials, recycled materials or materials that don't impact the environment so much. I think the conscious of conservation, it is now on in a lot of people. What we're building, it is pretty much modern. That modern, it is the tendency that everybody like, straight lines, uh, you know, big illumination, natural illumination with big windows, huge slider doors. And that is what we see on and on more on daily basis. And people, they're trying to build their homes comfortable, with gyms, with offices, and enough space, because nowadays it's not just to build a home for a family. Also, they, like I say, they are thinking to Airbnb homes or to rent it, or in the time that they're not here, trying to get some income from the house.
Yeah.
So they're trying to do the house a little more convenience for their activities.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the more homes that I look at, it's a lot more, again, I'm seeing more gyms, more inside offices, more outside space, outside dining as well. A lot of outdoor kitchens are there as well. Just because, again, here in Costa Rica, when we build homes, it's a little different than the Northern Hemisphere because we spend a lot of our time outside because it's, it's beautiful here most of the year round. Whereas, we don't have to spend, 6 months of the year inside because the weather is terrible.
That is the good thing about building here in the tropics, especially in the southern area of Costa Rica where I'm located.
Yep.
We see, well, the weather here is fantastic, and compared where you have a really rough winter seasons or really dry seasons where you can even be outside because it's too hot. Right here, we are, 8 months of the year, what we consider rainy season, it is sunny mornings, rainy afternoons. So it's still time to go do things, to go and enjoy outside. Now this raining a little bit more, also it's pleasure. Also the rain, it's comfortable in some way. So that the temperature all the time remain the same. 1 degree down, 1 degree up, but normally it is the same temperature all year round. So that is one of the good things about this siren building in this area of the world and also Costa Rica.
Yeah. Well, Christian, I know that you've bought land all over Costa Rica and you've also developed as well, but let's talk about land a little bit here. Typically people come to you after they've bought their land. Am I correct in saying that most of the time?
That is correct.
Okay. So, I mean, what advice would you give to someone that's looking to buy land? Because I'm sure at some point you would also like to be like, it's probably great when someone comes to you that's like, hey, I haven't bought the land yet. I'm thinking about this land and thinking to do it. Does this make sense in order to do this on here? But like, what advice would you give to someone and what things should they consider when buying land?
Okay, buying land, especially here in Costa Rica, could be tricky. Now the regulations of developing land is being changing over the years. And this moment, in the past government and from 2018 to 22, the regulations of buying land in Costa Rica changed completely. Like now we have to know exactly how to subdivide the land because in Costa Rica, it's only 2 different ways to subdivide land. One is in agriculture parcels and another way it is in condominium law. People get a little confused with this term, condominium. Condominium law means a legal procedure to subdivide land. Don't have nothing to do with apartments or construction. It is only the law about segregating land. Okay, let's talk the more use. The people, okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. Maybe I'm getting a little all over the place, but I don't want to get you.
Go for it.
I don't want to get you confused. Okay, normally this is what happened. I get an email from somebody, hey, Christian, we are, Mario and Karen, and we want to buy a piece of land to build our future home in Costa Rica. What we have to do? Normally that is the question. So pretty much we point these people to make their due diligence, to make their homework to see which location they're buying, if the land have any restriction, if the land it is in any protecting area. So we do all the different investigation with our engineers. We have a group of professionals that work with new age construction, from geologists, hydrologists, topographers, sociologists, and also myself, I am a civil engineer. So we do several studies to see if this land it is buildable. It sounds like a tricky, but no, it's not so bad, and also it's not so expensive.
If
But
you
at
know what
some
you're
point,
doing. If you know what you're
yes,
doing, it's not tricky. But if you don't, then yeah, maybe it is a little tricky.
definitely. If you want to do it yourself, and especially with a language in terms that you don't know, definitely it's gonna be a nightmare because a lot
Yeah.
of people don't even know how to start. Um, so what we tell our new clients, it is please be careful. Don't jump on the good deal because maybe deal sounds too good in the beginning, but it could be a hassle. It could be something behind that you don't know, and you're
Yeah.
buying, you're buying something that in the end you can do nothing with that. So you know the recommendation it is to have somebody like New Age Construction doing that homework for you, giving that right information in order to be in order to know exactly what to do with the land. Because sometimes you buy a piece of land thinking that you can build a lot, and the regulations say that you only can build 10 or 15% of the land. In some
Yeah.
areas you can build 50 or 60%. In different locations you can even build more. But the point it is doing your homework on time with the right people.
How important is a soil study to get during due diligence, in your opinion, Christian?
Somebody that don't do soil study don't know what it's doing. I am talking about engineer. Without the soil study, the engineers don't have a clue what kind of foundation the house or the construction will need. So also you're gonna know what you have underneath. You don't know if you have you have subterranean water, if you have sand, and the sand can liquidate and move and crack your home. Pretty much that is security. Also, without a solid study, you cannot have insurance in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Remember, Costa Rica, it is a country that we have not a lot, but we have earthquakes. We are in that, I don't know how you call it in English. Remember, English is not my first language. I apologize if I get a little confused.
No, not at all. Your English is perfect.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But we are in the cinturon, or the belt of fire. The belt of fire that is from the Galapagos and Chile and all the way to, I don't know, to
up to Alaska, I think. Yeah, all the way up there.
Yeah. So what happened is that the two places that we have in Costa Rica, they're moving constantly all the time. So we have a really severe and strict construction code regarding earthquakes. So the code cannot be fulfilled without soil study.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's important with the soil study as well, because you're also going to get an idea of, like, again, are you going to have to spend a fortune on your foundations? I mean, I think as you said it there, it's engineers need it to define what they're going to do with the foundations. And if you do it during due diligence, at least you have an idea there of, like, okay, we're not going to have to put in tens and tens of thousands of dollars here in the foundations. It's a pretty simple build. I say simple, not saying that your work is easy, as I know it's not, Christian, but like it's a little bit easier than, as if it was sitting on sand or something.
Exactly. And also, remember, we are a custom builder, so we're trying to pretty much do what our clients want. In order to give security, we have to work according to the law and according to the construction codes.
Yeah.
That is definitely important.
Okay. Well, I mean, a lot of people I've bumped into, Christian, have this dream of buying a larger piece of land and subdividing it in Costa Rica and then selling off those lots. I mean, I know you have experience doing that, and I mean, I don't think it's as easy as people, think it is. But I mean, what would your advice be, and how easy is it to do this? I mean, how long does it take, and, what do you need?
Okay. In this moment, I am working in two parcels. One, it is 16 hectares, and these 16 hectares, we are developing 25 ocean view lots. Amazing property. I mean, I am really happy with the results of this property. And also I am developing another parcel that is 49 hectares. And these 49 hectares, we are only using for the development only 12. Everything else is gonna be conservation. Everything else is gonna be jungle, because it's impossible to develop because don't have legal permits, because it's native jungle. Okay, I'm gonna tell you these two scenarios. And the first land and the 16 hectares, we have 3 years process. Since we start with the engineers, the special engineers to get that SETENA. The SETENA is the environmental permit we have to make a series of studies, like geologists. We need a geologist saying that the soil is stable because we are in the hills. We need our archaeologists. Archaeologists have to come and do inspection saying that we don't have any pre-Columbian stuff.
Artifacts or stuff,
Yeah. Well, the serious studies that we have to do, they are no easy regarding time. It is nothing serious, but a time, it is the crucial thing. If you're in the rush, if you're thinking that in 1 year, you're going to have absolutely ready to start to develop the land, they're lying to you. If somebody's saying that, they're lying to you, because the series of studies that we have to go through the government, hopefully with this new government, things are going to get quicker, but so far it takes time. And if you don't present the right documentation, it's going to take even longer because you have to make corrections in the meantime. It's a good business. I mean, a lot of people, they have the good luck that they find a parcel of land in Costa Rica, not so pricey. They develop it. They, get water. That is another big thing, water in Costa Rica. Power nowadays with photovoltaic systems or anything else, power is not so critical, but water it is. So it is a good business, like I say, if you know how to do it. They can be very profitable.
How did you go about getting the water for your 16 hectares? Was it already there, or did you have to request from the Asada or dig a well? Or
actually, different story.
Okay. You don't need to tell us, by the way.
In Costa Rica, also, it is different ways to make concessions of water. Every single water system that you create in Costa Rica have to be legal and have to be registered. You cannot develop, you cannot have Costa Rican construction permits without legal water. The easy way it is if you can hook up, in front of your property is legal water association, like AYA, it's called Acueductos en Alcantarillados, AYA. And that pretty much manage the rest of the rural Asada. Asada is in a group of neighbors. They manage rural water systems, but also you have to fulfill information in order to get and join this kind of Asadas. That is the only two entities in Costa Rica that manage legally the water, Asadas and AYA. If next to your property or close to your property is no possibility to hook up to one of these systems, you have to create your own. And the way to create your own, you have to get in a professional hydrologist that is going to make a concession. A water concession represent you in front of the water department of Costa Rica, and that is a process that they have to do inspections and see what kind of flow and anything else that you have. In order to get concession, it is three different ways to get a water concession. One is an artisanal well. You understand that?
An artisanal well, dug by hand.
Then the second one is to get a spring water. And the third one is to get superficial water. That is a water from a creek or from a river. And the spring well is the one that's a little bit more complicated because you will have to have a huge radius of protection. It is a big setbacks. And this moment, the setbacks is 100 meters. It's a radius of 100 meters. So in the spring, you are gonna lose about 22,000 square meters of land with a huge radius. In small areas, to develop that costs you a lot of money. The best way that don't have, so much impact, it is if you can get superficial water, that you hook up to one creek or to one river, then you have to do a filtration system, a chlorine system, a chlorination system, and then you can have the water and you can provide the water to your different lots. Actually, that is what we're doing in both of the properties that we're developing in this moment, because that is a little more efficient and also it is more affordable. You don't have to make a huge investment and you don't lose so much land.
Definitely, definitely. Well, let's talk construction a bit as well. I know that we focused here on land and development here, but I mean, in your experience, because a lot of people have developed with you, I mean, where are the hidden costs that most people don't foresee or they overlook, where they're like, "Wow, I did not really," I'd say before and then also during some of the costs that they don't foresee.
Okay, normally I say 50%. Okay, 50% of the cost in one house, it is on the finishes.
Yep.
Finishes, it is, you can save, you can reduce costs and foundations and structure and something else, things that you don't see. But a lot of people, they don't realize the finish a home, it is the area that is going to cost you more. So normally, sorry, but this happens a lot. Normally, the client sit down with an architect. The architect have a magnificent design, yep. But when it's time to bring the design to reality, it is non-budget. It's not realistic. Yep. So sometimes the clients say, "Well, I have $100,000 to build a house," and the design end up to be $300,000. So. Yeah. Pretty much the process of building the perfect home starts from design. Since the design, that the design is according to budget and is also according to the bioclimatics of the land. That is something that a lot of people don't put a lot of attention, and they don't focus that the bioclimatics here in the southern area of Costa Rica, it is completely different than anywhere else in the world. So they want to have a North American standard home, and they don't realize that right here in the southern area of Costa Rica, it rains like crazy. It rains, more than anywhere else here in the country. So all the kind of aspects, design, planification, construction, finishing, it have to be well managed by a professional that is not gonna be, get you to a mistake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people that build here think also about reselling at some point as well. I mean, where do you think people should really invest their time and money when building a home, thinking of resale? I mean, what's the stuff that really excites buyers, in your opinion?
Well, exteriors.
Yeah.
Focus, what you want from Costa Rica is to be outside, enjoying the weather, having a great views. If you buy a perfect ocean view lot, definitely you don't want to be inside of the house. You want to be in your pool, you want to be in your palapa, you want to be in your garden. So trying to maximize the flow from the inside to the outside. So having a big slider windows where you feel when you're in the kitchen, that pretty much you are in the patio. So everything feels like it's no transition from one to another. So that is what we see all the time. And it happened to me when the design is not correct and they resell the house, I end up doing remodeling, remodeling homes in order to make a open plan concepts and stuff like that. So that is crucial, having airflow through the house and having the weather, enjoying the weather inside and outside. That is what it's going to be all about Costa Rica.
Definitely. I mean, Chris, a lot of people ask, and I think this is a difficult question, but maybe you could give us a range. What is the cost per square foot or square meter, at the moment? And I mean, I know it's difficult, but like, where would you say that the medium is at the moment? I'm not high end. I'm not building like a shack, but like something in the middle that's kind of comfortable.
Something in the middle. I mean, I am working and budgeting these days like crazy. Like I say, I have all these kind of different projects from $1 million homes, $300,000 homes, $2 million homes. So I can tell you, at a price to start, it is $1,300 in a square meter. That is a reasonable cost. It is about $130 in square feet.
Yeah.
That is a price that's gonna give you good finishes. I mean, I am not talking high end. I am not talking marbles. I am not talking about
travertine, coralline, any of that
Italian
stuff,
travertines or stuff like that. But it's also it's gonna give you nice stone, nice natural stones and nice hardwoods. But that is a good price to start. $1,300 and up.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I think that wouldn't include a pool. They'd have to put the pool on top of that.
No, that is a price. If we make an average, remember, inside have a price. What we call full area have a price, and halving area, what is terraces and decks and everything else, have a different price. Also the pool.
Definitely.
When you make an average, you can consider with, let's say, $1,300 in square meter, you can have an average to build all together.
Definitely. Well, my last question for you, Christian, is I know that you're very busy. Hey, you've got a lot of home builds on at the moment, but if you invested $500,000 and had to invest it into a business or real estate in Costa Rica, what would you invest it in, Christian?
House building. Definitely, as soon as you're, let's say, how I can say this, you will make 25 to 30% in the day that your house is finished.
Yeah.
So if you have $500,000 today, you buy a piece of land, build a house. As soon as you finish the house, you don't have any more $500,000. You can consider you have $750,000. That is the value of your project. So definitely building, it is a really good way to invest money.
Fantastic. Well, Christian, really appreciate your time. And I'm going to put all the contact details for you and New Age Construction down in the bottom. I know that you guys work all over Costa Rica, but are mainly focused in the Central and Southern Pacific areas, correct?
It's correct.
Awesome. Well, anyone that wants to contact Christian can, all the contact details are there in the description. And Christian, really appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you very much. If anybody is interested to work with New Age Construction, you can see many art projects in New Age Construction Facebook page. Right there, you can see from hotels, residential homes, all over, all kinds of different projects you can see. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Christian, have a great day, buddy.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to share a little information with you guys.
This has been great. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Hello, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that podcast there with Christian Arce of New Age Construction. As you can see, he has a lot of experience building. He's an engineer himself, everything from residential to commercial to hotels. So I actually bumped into Christian through a mutual friend, and since then we've always chatted, and he's been a great resource for me for anything I need. He's actually developing some property that's going to come online, I think, at the end of this year, just north of Dominicao in Portolón. He's got some amazing ocean view lots there if you want to reach out to him and ask him about them. Remember, if you need any help with anything in Costa Rica, as I said, I've always got 15 minutes for everyone. You can email us info@investingcostarica.com, investing, INVESTING, Costa Rica.com, info@investingcostarica.com. Well, to the next podcast, guys, really appreciate you listening. If you did like it, please leave us a review. If you can, we love to read them. It gives us energy to keep on going here. We hope you're finding these interesting. Until the next podcast, guys, we'll see you later.
The #1 Costa Rica real estate and investment podcast, bringing you experts from all over Costa Rica.